Okay, so welcome back. So what about functions? Well, we could, delete all of this and we can start over and maybe delete all of this and delete all of this. If we can write a fat arrow function and then just return it and use it the good old way. So I could say message, and this message is going to be a fat arrow function, just like that, and then export and do whatever it is that we want, maybe message from and then function. If we want to use it, we need to return it. I'm going to go here and say message. And then inside we use the open and say message. Now, since this is a function, just by using something like this, it's just not going to really work. If I reload the application, notice that we are printing the whole function. We are not running the function. And what we want is to run the function. So we need to open and close. If I save the file and run it again, now we get the message from function. If we want a normal function, well, it's the same idea. Maybe I can delete this, and I'm going to keep this right here at the top. Right here, I could say, just function, and then inside the function, call it message, and then open and close. And from this function, then return the string that we want to print. And again, it's message from and then function. Now, if I save it and reload the application, we should be getting the same deal. Still works. So in conclusion, when it comes to functions or just fat arrow functions, they're just the same. You can use this as you usually do. Now, so there's something that you need to do within view and functions. Right here, whatever you write and then you return it, it's going to run it because you're doing it within the setup. Now, view gives you the ability to add your own methods to this view instance. And just like the setup, we have a reserved keyword that calls methods. I'm going to go outside or after the setup. I'm going to do a comma, and I'm going to go right here. And right here, we could say method. Actually, it's going to be methods, and then just like that, open and close. And inside, we just create a name, and then we do whatever it is that we need to do. Let's say that this method calls welcome. So I'm going to say welcome, and then open and close. And then we need to do something. And in this case, I'm going to say return, and then, I don't know, hello, guys, something like that. Hello, guys. I'm going to say welcome instead of, instead of message. If I save this, now we are using the method and not the function. So I'm going to reload the application, and we get that method instead. Now, why do you have two ways of doing this? Well, this one, the one at the top within this setup, that's the composition API. And then at the bottom, this methods, it's the options API. View lets you use the options API even if you're using the composition API. So you can use a combination of both different ways, options and composition. But you cannot use composition API features when you're just using the options API. And I'm telling you this because maybe if you go to the web and you try to find some examples, you will find some of them with the setup and with some other things like methods. And you need to recognize that this is the composition using the options API, and you need to know that there is a difference. Now, in our case, like we discussed previously, we are not going to use the options API. I'm just showing you the main difference. I'm going to go back and just use the message function, and I'm going to go here and output the message. So I can leave this code for this section so you can download it. Right now, whatever property or variables that we create are not reactive, and everything gets a little bit verbose when we do so in terms of code. So I guess now it's time to go to the next section and learn about reactivity.